Hey, Team Happy and Fit. I'm so excited to be with you on this Tuesday. I'm really, really excited to deliver to you tonight. And I just did this activity with Trina Gray. She's our upline. She's it's like our mothership team. And she just is really wise. And I'm really excited to walk with you exactly what she taught me this week that really changed the game for me. Out of curiosity, what did all of you in the comments below sacrifice being on this call tonight? So maybe you're sacrificing TV, you're sacrificing going out with a friend tonight, maybe you're sacrificing who knows what, but I would love to see what you're sacrificing tonight so that you are on this call, because I think what's really important for you guys to all see is that I indeed sacrifice a lot of things for this business too, things that can get done or that it's worth it, if that makes sense, for you to grow. So what I need you to do for this Zoom is I need you to be present. I need you to have a paper and pen. I need you to log out of Facebook. I need you to not have your phone by you. I need you to be completely plugged in. So real fast, we are doing the Comeback Club. And the Comeback Club is for anyone who has been inactive, gotten off track. Maybe they were wanting to build a strong business and then backed off a little bit. Things got crazy, school happened, whatever that is. If you have someone that's part of the Comeback Club, I would love for you to give them a shout out in Team Happy and Fit. I think a lot of times people are nervous because they're afraid we're angry or mad or that they let someone down. And I think when you can just really uplift someone for not quitting and just getting back on their journey after a setback is huge, and making them feel comforted. Just so you guys know, the 2019 Success Club trip is a cruise to the Bahamas and a private island. I registered. I know that Sarah did, Mariah registered, and some others. You guys, these Success Club trips are so awesome. They are vacation. Like, they are, you just have fun and you are hanging out with your friends and you're enjoying some mojitos and you're just by the pool, by the water, whatever, like you're eating wonderful food and dancing. It is seriously wonderful. So if you hit Success Club every single month, or you hit Success Club, get Success Club points, that covers your entire trip. This will be my fourth one, and legit I've not had to pay for it. Like, it is all covered. It is so awesome. Everything's included. With the ship, you'd have to pick different packages maybe if you wanted to drink more, but I didn't even do that when I went on the cruise and had a great time. The Diamond Group is incredible. We kicked off with our first call yesterday. It was awesome. If you're wanting to get serious about growing this business, you don't have to do it blindfolded. Running an awesome, successful business means you are in collaboration with other people, that you are feeding off the energy and momentum of other people, and this Diamond Group is just that. There are people in that group that aren't even Emerald yet, and then there are people in that group that are one coach away from Diamond, and then there are people in that group that are already Diamond. And the point of this group is collaboration. The point of this group is to help you create a strong business, if that makes sense. So congratulations to all of you who are ringing the bell in there, who are overcoming objections, who are posting more boldly. I was just talking to Morgan Brill, and she said, you know what, I noticed that my coaches, they're becoming more bold with the way that they're presenting. They're becoming more edgy, right, with what they're saying. And I think it's 100% your confidence. It's not the wishy-washy, like, I mean, this changed my life, but you can do it if you want to. Or this just changed my life so much, but like, if you want to do it, let me know. But if you're like, this changed my life so much, you need to do this. That's the kind of delivery you need in order to make that happen. Just another FYI, for challenge groups, you need to be posting about challenge groups 2 to 3 times a week. How I've been doing that, I've been using Instagram stories talking about 80-day obsession. And then I've been posting about 80-day obsession on my Facebook as well. I even went live about 80-day obsession. I just talked to Jenna, and I said, Jenna, I don't think people understand what Beachbody On Demand is. Like, do they know? Do people know what your challenge, what is a challenge group? Like, can you please show people the inside look of what you're even talking about, sharing your screen, going live and really getting into Beachbody On Demand and showing them the value of it. And just really letting them know the Netflix to working out is not using Beachbody lingo, but people still don't understand what that means. Does that make sense? So you guys need to show and share what that means. So I'm really excited for you guys. And you have to understand, I think it was Lauren Lundberg who posted this. She posted it about 80-day obsession maybe 5 to 7 times. And it was like the 5th time someone saw it and they're like, okay, I keep seeing this. Tell me more. Lauren Lundberg is at SC15 right now. What is it, the 8th? I told her before she was at 15, I was like, let's race with Success Club this month. And then I was like, what do you got today? She's like 15. I was like, I'm not racing you anymore. And she's just gonna keep going. She's like, dude, like those trip dollars, I'm gonna get my trip paid for. And I was like, yep, you are. This month is double trip dollars. So I was like, you go, girl. I'm not racing her anymore, but she said it took 5 exposures for someone to see that. Like pretty true. I was thinking about that because I've been talking about 80-day obsession for almost a month now, and it is taking this 10th exposure for someone to reach out. I feel like you feel like you're talking about it too much, but you have to understand new people are seeing your stuff every day if you're expanding your network. Or they're not on your phone, they're not on their phones like you're on their phone. So if they're not spending their time all the time on social media, then they missed it the 4 other times. So if you're feeling like lack of engagement, you just have to trust that process, but you need to be posting about challenge groups every week. Not when your next challenge group starts and then you don't post for a week. Every week, 2 to 3 times about a new challenge. Does that make sense? So let's dig in. I'm really, really excited about this activity. Please be present. Get a pen and paper. This is going to be interactive. This is what it's going to look like. I'm going to read off questions for you. You're going to answer them. And then I'm going to give you a couple minutes. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to call on one of you to read your answer. You have every right to pass. But I really, really encourage you to be bold and courageous today. Does that make sense? That might scare you. I hate the popcorn ring, not the popcorn ring, where you're like sitting in a circle and you like have to read the next paragraph. I never pay attention because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm the 5th one and I like count ahead and then I like read my paragraph real fast and then I'm already lost. Like I don't want it to be like that. I want you to just like share your heart. Does that make sense? Oh, I hated that in school too. But I want this to be more of a collaboration of like, let's support each other's dreams. So in the comments below or raising a hand, how many of you have already made a vision board? Awesome. How many of you are wanting to make a vision board? So we talked about vision boards last week, I think, or the week before. This is going to go even deeper into that vision board. So if you're like rolling your eyes like, oh, this old news, I've worked on my vision board for like 3 weeks already. No. Like this is actually going to take you in more depth. I just did this with Trina and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm about to cry. Like I'm so excited for 2018. So let's go ahead and do a dream walk. And it's going to be really powerful. And there's going to be some added things you need to add to your vision board or things you need to take out of your vision board or things that you haven't considered when it comes to your vision board, if that makes sense. I was reading in EntreLeadership that you cannot do anything without vision. You can't do anything without a mission. Like you have to connect it with something deeper as you're doing it. These vital behaviors, if you're not connecting these vital behaviors, these like you're doing Rock the Business, you're in this diamond training. If you're not connecting that stuff with a bigger vision, it's not going to happen. Like you're just going to be in there and you're not going to move anywhere. Does that make sense? But when you're in these groups, in these trainings, and you're connecting to, man, what fired me up this last week is that we had coaches have the highest paychecks ever. Like a coach just told me today that she had a $600 a week paycheck for the first time. I had a coach that that's on this call, on this team, that a $1,500 a week paycheck. I had someone this last week have a $1,000 paycheck. I've had, like, is that not awesome? Like, you guys, success is happening. Maybe you're not there yet, but I remember their $0 paychecks. I remember their $30 paychecks. I remember where they were at. And when they've been telling me, like, Julianne, this happened, I was like, man, this is the freaking best ever. Like, this is so cool. They have vision. They know where they're going. So let's go ahead and take a dream walk today. And I'm really, really excited. So Trina was talking about that each and every single day. She related it to a sunrise. And she said, if you can just picture a sunrise, and when a sunrise happens, it's a new day, right? A new day start over. And she said, promise to celebrate each day for what it is. Each new day for whatever it is, a new start, a new chance, a new way to get it right. And just, even if it's a hard day, just understanding that that's just part of your story. That's just part of what's going to take you to wherever you need to go and how you're going to get there. So for number 1 on your piece of paper, go ahead and write number 1. And this is what you're going to write next to number 1, and you're going to have some time to write it down. What is your mantra to start a new day going to be? So it can be something simply as think happy, be happy. My mantra is give yourself the gift of follow through, walk on fire, be the light, and be all there. Lead hard and lead passionately, glorify God in all that you do, live with confidence, and have a grateful heart. Like, that's my mantra. It's kind of multiple ones. But what I want you to do is spend a couple of minutes just writing down what is going to be your mantra you wake up to every single day. Maybe you put reminders in your phone and it alerts you of your mantra. Maybe you have it on your mirror in the bathroom, or maybe you just memorize it. It's next to your bed, whatever. But every single day, a mantra for 2018 that you can repeat. So go ahead and take a minute or two to write that down.
Loving can hurt sometimes, but it's the only thing that I know. When it gets hard, you know it can get hard sometimes. It is the only thing that makes us feel alive. We keep this love in a photograph. We made these memories for ourselves, where our eyes are never closing, hearts are never broken, time's forever frozen still.
All right, so I'm going to cold call. And if you're not ready yet, that's okay. I think that this mantra can really change the view of your day each day, simply by reminding yourself of what you're about and who you are and how you want to start each day. Let's go ahead and go to Nikki. Do you have your mantra written down? You're like, crap, no.
I don't really know if it's a mantra, but I just said, thank you, God, for a new day. Allow me to be grateful, thankful, and remember my blessings, and use me for good today.
Yes, that is a mantra. So what I suggest you do is, where are you going to put that mantra? And oh, go ahead.
Probably on my phone.
Good. Like, you can put a reminder in your phone, so then you get alerted, and then that's the first thing you look at each and every single day. I'm going to call on one more. Sarah, what is your mantra?
I wrote down, attract what you expect, reflect what you desire, become what you respect, mirror what you admire.
Cool. Where are you going to put that?
In my office.
Cool. So you can look at it every day. You can put it on your desktop. You can put it there. Let's just go with one more. Lonnie, what is your mantra? Here, I can unmute you. I've got you. Oh, no, I can't hear you. It might be your audio. That's okay. You might have to connect to your audio. No problem. When you fix that, I'll come back to you. Oh, wait, don't give up. Give grace. I love that. Where are you going to put that? I love that. Lizzie Turner, what is your mantra?
So I kind of stole it from Mastering Your Mean Girl, which is my PD right now, and it's I will love and accept myself wholeheartedly and unconditionally.
Yay! Where are you going to put that mantra?
I think I'm gonna put it next to my goals because I tend to let them, like, when I'm not achieving what I want to be achieving, I let that like hit me pretty hard.
Yes, like you guys have to remember that it's, I was like, I'm gonna, like, it was the other day, I was like, I'm gonna be, like, there was part of my mantra, and I woke up, and then it was like 5 minutes later, I was like frustrated, and I was like, okay, like it's just gonna take practice. My pastor, Pastor Andy, said it doesn't take you a week to put on 50 pounds, so it's not gonna take a week to shed 50 pounds. And it's kind of the same thing with believing your mantra and hitting goals and just trusting this process, that it's not going to take a day. It's not even necessarily going to take 30 days. It's just going to take a whole lot of practice and doing that day after day after day. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. I am going to share my screen, and I want you guys to all watch this video. So I thought that that was so powerful when Trina shared that, because I think so much of the things that happen in our life, we hold on to it, like the things that weigh us down and the things that are so hard and the things that instead of becoming better, we can become very bitter. And so for number 2, after your mantra, it's what are 2 to 3 things that bring you the most worry in life? And then as you, oh, sorry, let me exit out of this. So what are those 2 to 3 things that bring you the most worry? And what do you need to do to address those worries or remove those worries? So go ahead and take a couple of minutes to write down what are 2 to 3 things that bring you the most worry, and how can you minimize those worries?
So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet. You won't ever be alone. Wait for me to come home. Loving can heal. Your loving can mend your soul. And it's the only thing that I know. I swear it will get easier. Remember that whatever it is we are. And it's the only thing take with us when we die. We keep this love in this open ground. We made these memories for ourselves, where our eyes were never closed and our hearts were never broken, and time's forever frozen still.
So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet. You won't ever be alone. And if you hurt me, that's okay, baby. Only words believe that inside these pages you just hold me, and I won't ever let you go. Wait for me to come home.
This one was really hard for me to do because I don't know if it's because of I don't like reflecting on the hard things in my life. It's hard. It is actually really hard for me to sit down and think about what stresses me out and worries me. But what I've realized is that when you can address it, it creates more room in your life for good. And when you can really write down and acknowledge the things that bring you worry and creating like of what you can do to minimize those worries, it'll create more good and room in your life to press on through those worries. Does that make sense? So for this one, I don't necessarily want to cold call because it can be really vulnerable and scary to share. But real fast, like a couple of my worries in life are money. That's a big one. And just the future, of just like sometimes it can just feel really heavy or scary or unknown. And typically when I'm feeling that way, the best way for me to minimize those worries is just to put my nose down and get to work. A lot of times when I find myself getting more worried, it's because I've spent more time scrolling the newsfeed, comparing, or honestly watching trash TV. Like getting negative social media or media stuff in my mind, or having negative interactions versus surrounding myself and putting my mind into PD. PD is a really great solution for those worries. And then just doing my crap. So for those of you, I would love for someone to volunteer and share what their worries is. I can see that the chat is blowing up. Thank you for writing that down. If someone would want to unmute, Sarah, Sam, or Kim, I would love for you guys to verbalize that or share it out loud. Mariah, go ahead.
So the three that I talked about was, I don't know why I said I can, and now I'm like, I don't want to.
It's so scary.
Being unloved, especially going through my divorce, I guess a lot of things that I think about in fear is like, oh, that means that I'm unlovable and that nobody's ever going to love me again. So that's something that's definitely hard for me. Those of you guys who are super close to me know that I hate to fail at anything and hate feeling like I'm a failure. And then most of all, disappointing those that I love. And that means so much to me. So those are the three things that I really struggle with and bring me a lot of worry. And then what I kind of do to combat that and, stay focused on the task at hand and not get so deep and involved in that is just know truly that I'm a child of God and that I'm his daughter. And with that equals grace, love, and mercy. And that all of those three things that I worry about, he'll take care of for me.
Yeah. And I think too, like being able to talk about it, one of the things I wrote down was falling short, like falling short of expectation, falling short of what I set out to do. And I think when you can just say that out loud, and I always say this, but like it loses that power over you because then you're just reminded. And I'm someone who needs validation of like, are you mad at me? No, I'm not mad at you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like I read into that, like just like you being like, hey guys, like I'm struggling with this, like can you, and I know we've had those kind of conversations too. Thank you for sharing your heart. Thank you for your vulnerability and just like being straight up. We all have worries. Like, and I'm someone who tries to avoid them. And I don't always like sharing them. Is there anyone else on this call that would be willing to be brave enough to share their 3 worries and how they're overcoming them? And you can unmute.
I can share that my biggest worry is not even business related at all. It's not being a mom. And ever since like I was a little girl, I've just always wanted to be a mom. And so when I wanted to figure out what I wanted to do for college, my mom was really sweet. And she's like, I don't want to discourage you from going to school. She goes, but maybe you were just created to be a mom. She goes, and that's okay. And so the older I've gotten, I'm engaged now. And so like the future is just kind of happening now, like everything that I've waited for. And so the fear of not being a mom really scares me. But one thing that my grandma said to me was just that when the time comes, like, if the world, ends before I get to be a mom, or if something happens, I won't have regrets of that because I'm going to go to somewhere that's going to be just amazing and beautiful. And so I just have to find peace in knowing that like it's his plan and not my plan.
Yeah.
So just being comfortable with that.
For sure. But I think you just like sharing that worry is so powerful for community and support. And I really appreciate you sharing that. In order to create more room in our life, we have to know what those worries are, right? And so for number 3 for our dream walk, and maybe you've already done this, but there's going to be something we're adding to this, okay? So if you've already done this already, awesome. Is writing down 5 to 6 roles in your life. So for me, I have 6. Christian, wife, dog mom, volunteer, coach and mentor, I added together, and friend. And what I want you to attach to each role are the 2 things that you had the most fun with in those roles in 2017. So for example, what brought me the most joy as a wife was date nights and the laughter, and also Eric being home. Like just seeing him more than I had the year before brought me so much joy. So if you have more than 6 roles, it's time for you to get rid of some, because you cannot have more in your life if you're spread too thin, right? And just being able to understand that even if you have other things in life, it doesn't mean that has to be your main role, right? So for me, there's things in my life that aren't a main role, so my roles would trump those other things in my life if I needed them to, if that makes sense. So write down your 6 roles, and then the 2 to 3 things that brought you joy in those roles this year.
Wait for me to come home. Wait for me to come home. Wait for me to come home. Oh, and you can feel me inside the necklace you got when you were 16. Next to your heartbeat where I should be. Keep it deep within your soul. And if you hurt me, that's okay, baby. Only word, please. Inside these pages, you just hold me, and I won't ever let you go. I'll remember how you kissed me under the lamppost back on 6th Street, hearing you whisper through the phone. Wait for me to come home. Yeah. cups and sweaty bodies everywhere. Hands in the air like we don't care. Cause we came to have so much fun now. That somebody here might be the one now.
If you're not ready to go home, can I get a hell no? Cause we're gonna go all night till we see the sunlight. Alright.
So la-da-dee-da-dee, we like to party. It's you and me, doing whatever we want. And this is our house, this is our rules, and we can't stop, and we won't stop. Can't you see it's we who own the night?
Can't you see it's we who about that life?
And we can't stop, and we won't stop. We run things so we
Don't take nothing from nobody.
yeah, yeah.
For my homegirls just trying to live it up.
All right, I know we're kind of moving a little bit fast, but that's okay. Okay, I'm going to call on someone. If you don't have all of your roles written down with 2 ways they brought you joy, that's okay. You can come back to that. But if you could just share 1 role and the 2 ways that brought you joy, we'll just start from there. So Ashley Stewart, could you share 1 role and 2 ways that brought you joy this year?
Yeah. All right. Trying to pick one. Okay, so this year I became a dog mom, and he's like running around the apartment right now. But Josiah and I, so my husband and I, were able to figure out a routine that allows us to go to the dog park at noon for his lunch hour for an hour. So all our dog park trips, and then also training him. I know I don't have kids yet, and I can't speak for that experience yet, but I feel like it's been a really great experience and makes me really excited to have my own kids someday and, you know, help raise them and all that fun stuff. So that's my role.
Yay! I have mine for Dog Mom Dog Park every day. Like, it literally brings me so much joy. That's awesome. And it may not sound like super awesome to anyone else, but like, that's not the point, right? It's whatever brings you the most joy. Caitlin, what about you, sister Caitlin Green?
One was being a wife, and this year has been crazy since we decided to move to Texas. And I feel like that is at least a stressful situation for us. So just being able to like stay sane with each other through the whole thing and like still be able to like laugh about stuff even when it's hard, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And moving across the country is so hard. And like, you two are going to lean on each other so much. Like, it is such a hard thing, but if you guys can come together in that time, it's going to be amazing. Amazing. And Natalie, what about you? A role and then 2 ways that brought you joy.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. I said being a fiance because I just got engaged.
Yay.
Yeah, so I like one of the biggest things that brings us joy is enjoying live music together. And I guess I've been surprised by the daily happiness that like committing to a life together has brought to us. We've been together a really long time, so it's just changed everything. So
that is so exciting, and your ring is so beautiful, and that makes me just so happy. I love that. Yay, awesome. Thanks, Natalie. So what I want you guys to do now is for 2018, I want you to write down 2 goals you have for each role. So maybe it's a date night once a week. Actually, someone on Trina's call said that on every Sunday, her and her daughter, not Trina, it was Amy Showman, every Sunday her and her daughter have spa night. Like they do like mud masks and they do like fun things every Sunday. I was like, that is so cute. And she like loved that. Someone wrote more sex. Like, you can do that. That can be your goal for 2018 with your spouse. For me, I wrote down to be a better friend, at least call some of my friends back home once a month, and really try to work on that. And then, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look over mine a little bit more, but those are some ideas that I heard of, but then also were mine too. So go ahead and write down 2 goals that you have for each role of your life.
I don't want another pretty face. I don't want just anyone to hold. I don't want my love to go to waste. I want you and your beautiful soul. I know that you are something special, and to you I'll be always faithful, and I want to be what you always needed, and I hope you'll see the heart in me. I don't want another pretty. I don't want just anyone to fall. I don't want my love to go waste. I want you and your beautiful soul. You're the one I wanna chase. You're the one I wanna hold. I will never let it go to waste. I want you and your beautiful soul. Your beautiful soul. Yeah. You might need time to think it over, but I'm just fine moving forward. At least you're mine. If you give me the chance, I'll never make you cry. Come on, let's ride. I don't want another place. I don't want just anyone to hold. I don't want my love to go to waste. I want you and your beautiful soul. You're the one I wanna chase. You're the one I wanna hold. I will never let it go to waste. I want you and your beautiful soul.
I literally love watching you guys all write it down. I just am a strong believer in writing down what you want in life, because I really feel like if you write it down and you can see it and you can just really get it in your head, sometimes you don't know how you're going to make it happen, but it just ends up happening. So what is an example of 2 goals that you have for a role? Name the role and then 2 goals that you have with it. Let's go to Amanda.
So for my dog mom role,
it's the business. Like, I feel like everyone became a dog mom in 2017. Like touched it. Like, it just is the real thing. So go ahead.
I have my 2 goals to take him to training classes because he's really smart. So I want to see what else he can learn and keep challenging him. And to visit my parents' farm at least once a month so he can run around in the big yard.
Cute. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. Thanks, Amanda. Stephanie. Okay, you guys, I just, first of all, met her once in Arizona at a dinner for Mariah. Then we just had Super Saturday, and I wish you guys could have been there. I just got done presenting, and I walked to the back, and then the elevator opened, and then here comes Stephanie, and I was like right there, and we just were like face to face, like so close together, and just like embraced each other. Share a goal or a role, and then 2 goals that you have. Oh, can't hear you. I'll unmute you. Oh, you got it.
I did get, yeah. Okay. I also put dog mom.
See, it's the business.
Because I'm going to, our baby boy is due in February, and I don't want to be like so wrapped up in him, like that I forget about my dog too, because she's still going to need attention. Like every time I take her out for a walk, it's like, okay, how am I going to do this with a baby and still taking her and finding attention and like that love that she's going to need. Too. So I said to have patience with her and to not put her on the back burner.
I love that. That is literally like, I think about that too, where I'm like, there's no way like I could replace Wyatt. Like I need to make sure that there's balance in my life. And like moms with actual children are probably like, oh, you forget about your dog. And I'm like, no, that will not be me.
I don't think about her.
Exactly. I love that. Thanks for sharing, sister. Okay, this is a big one. So for number 6, I'm really, really excited for your answers. Is for your coach role. When you succeed in building your team, income, fit life, how will the rest of your life improve? For your coach role, how would having a successful online business, a fit life, and extra income help the rest of your life? You can even just start listing them off in the chat after you write it down. What will it do for your life?
Am I crazy for wanting you? And maybe you think you could want me too. I don't wanna waste your time. Do you see things the way I do? I just wanna know that you feel it too, 'cause there is nothing left to hide.
The question is, for your coach role, how would having a successful online business, a fit life, and extra income help the rest of your life? So I even think about like, for me, this community and personal development helped me be a better teacher, but also understand my worth, that I wasn't getting paid my worth. I wasn't getting paid worth my time. And this business allowed me to see that when I never saw that before. Like I knew it, but I didn't see another option for me. And then this business gave me the option. I didn't know someone like me could be a CEO. I never went to school for business. Like I didn't know, like this coaching opportunity, you don't sign a contract based on income. Like I was just telling this to, I think Kim, where I was like, your administrative job, like you sign a contract for that guaranteed income, but she had one of the highest paying weeks she's ever had last week. And I said, that was through blood, sweat, and tears, that you earned yourself, that no one said, if you do this, this is what you're going to earn. Does that make sense? Like that's amazing. So what would this do to your life, having a super successful business? And actually, Kim, you're the next person, so why don't you go ahead and share?
Sure. Well, I wrote basically I've been there. It makes me more a patient person, gives me more confidence, a feeling of accomplishment, knowing that I've done something, that I'm enough. Whoops, lost my light. Trying to get light to my face because you can't see me.
That's okay. Oh yeah, nice. Now we can see you. Like a scary movie.
Kind of freaky. Being, it's allowed me so many more freedoms of being my own time, my own being able to. Who else can say that they're having a business call with other amazing women while they're in bed? Right? So I think just this coaching opportunity has completely changed my life. And I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's so amazing at the same time.
Yeah, I love that. Thanks. Some things that I wrote down were just like special trips with Eric, or I really have this huge desire to help my family pay off debt. And so every time I talk to my mom on the phone, I'm like, Mom, we're getting there. And I just have to like create more stability. And then I'm like, Mom, then we're there. She's like, I trust you, honey. Like, I'm so like, she's part of the mission and she knows my heart with it. Getting a house here in Silicon Valley would be huge. Stability, no debt, no money stress. I have this desire to give more money to the church, bless more people. Wouldn't it be cool just to like fly, like say you grow a team and you're like, I want to have a team retreat, and you're able to pay for all of it. Like I see that. Like I see that vision, which would be super cool, like a happy and fit retreat. I'm like, man, that would be so neat, right? So you need to visualize that this opportunity, and it's not to leave your job, but it could give you more wiggle room. It could give you more in your life to help other people, if that makes sense. Or I was talking to Sam about this. I said, Sam, like, if you aren't in this for the money reasons, like we're all in it to help, okay? Like we're establishing that. But like, what if you built such an insane team in downline that it helps 20 women become financially free? Like, what would that do to you? Like how would that make you feel? And she's like, awesome. And I was like, and that's your bigger vision. And like for me and Sarah, that is so much of our business right now. Like so many people that decided to say yes to us are experiencing paying off debt, are experiencing bigger paychecks, are experiencing more time with their family, all because we chose to show up hard in our business. And I would say that feels way more rewarding than me getting any kind of paycheck. Like me being able to see how it's trickling down is the coolest thing ever. And then it just shows that there's enough success for us all. So I would love to see everyone's answers in the chat. Wouldn't all of you? Like, what if you're a coaching role, how would having a successful online business, getting fit, change every area of your life? Oh, there is. Scroll up. All right. Stop yelling at me. Oh, Mariah private chat me. I thought it was like to the public, so that's why I said that. Oh my gosh. Traveling, growth mindset, getting it back, financial freedom, no longer stressed about the little expenses. Absolutely. That's so awesome. More freedoms. You guys, do you know that that's possible? It's not like off of a whim, not by chance, not by, only 4 of us on this call or 10 of us on this call, or heck, if there's 25 of us on this call, only half of us can have that. That's not how this business works. All 25 people who are on this call can experience that. Is that not amazing? Oh, I love that. Gives me goosebumps. So going to question number 6, in order to enhance every area of your life, what are you willing to sacrifice? I feel like that's kind of been the theme in the last 3 days, me asking you, what are you sacrificing? I need you guys to connect something here that maybe you're going to quit. I don't have Netflix. I'm not saying you have to quit Netflix. All I'm saying is, what are you willing to sacrifice in order to enhance your business in your life? What are you willing to sacrifice? I said laziness. Sometimes when I am at a goal, or like I'm about to be at SC10, I'll like not pump the brakes, because that's not, when you let off the gas, you roll backwards in this business. But what tends to happen is I won't be as relentless when I'm like at certain goals. I'll still do it and like make it happen, but I know there's more in me, so I get lazy, even though I still work hard, if that makes sense. So I want to get rid of laziness. Maybe say no to more opportunities. I love speaking for people. I love speaking on team calls. I love a lot of people on other teams reach out to me constantly, and I love helping them. But if that's where a lot of my energy is going, I can sacrifice that. TV for sure. Snooze button. I love that. Erica, you're up. What would be something that you're willing to sacrifice? And maybe you already are sacrificing. That's a big thing you guys need to understand too. Maybe you're already sacrificing it.
Okay. Sorry, I wasn't thinking too long, but getting distracted. I feel like it's really easy for me to just not focus on what needs to get done first. With that, not doing my high priority tasks first. So I'll do my coaching business for a long time, but do the fun things or the.
That's huge. I love the chat.
So.
And like, I think a lot of people get distracted too.
So yeah, those are my main things. Scrolling the news feed.
Yes. So something that I do too is I save my main things to my book. I bookmark them on my toolbar. So like my challenge group, I bookmark it. So then all I have to do is go click that button and it goes straight to my challenge group. You can bookmark your team page. So then you just click that in your toolbar and then it goes straight to the team page. Does that make sense? So then you can bookmark your messages. So you just click and it goes straight to your messages and not to the news feed. That is something that has helped me tremendously with minimizing distraction. When I find myself distracted, I go, how is this helping my life? How is this helping move the needle in this business? And that I can snap out of it. Number 7, what are you not going to sacrifice in order to have an insane business? What are you not going to sacrifice? Self-care, your relationships, sleep, unplug time. I think it's really important for you guys to understand that sleep is important. Like there will be times, sometimes I'll stay up a little bit later sometimes, but not always. Like it is really important for me to get 8.5 hours of sleep. Like it is vital for me. Like I am someone who functions well on a lot of sleep. My relationships in my life, like I would never sacrifice that. There's times I've sacrificed moments, don't get me wrong. Like these Tuesday nights will never be a date night. Tuesday, like this is my business time, but Fridays, I'm not going to do one-on-ones, right? Like I don't know, Fridays are my day with Eric. Or park time, dog park time. I don't take my phone to the dog park unless I want to take a picture of Wyatt, but otherwise I try not to take my phone there. Even on date nights, I try not to take my phone, right? Friend trips, like being fully there. Mariah and I have had that conversation before. Like if we're in the car, I get it, but like when you're at a restaurant, like not being on that phone, I don't want to be somewhere else when I'm with the people that I love. So what are things you're not going to sacrifice? Morgan Schaefer, you are up.
So definitely for me, that would be unplugging. I definitely need to work on that and just really being present with Adam especially. I can often find myself like checking my phone and like he notices it and like it's something, I mean, I'm getting better at it, but I really want to work on not having to like check my notifications every second or get back to people. And then also I'm not going to sacrifice time with family either. And I really noticed that over, I think I just dropped my phone. Over Christmas break when we were playing games with my family and stuff, I noticed I was like checking my phone and like we were playing games, and so like halfway through the trip I'm like, I need to stop doing that. I need to be present. I have a short time with these people who I love, and so really a lot of it is just unplugging in general.
Yeah, I think that's so good to remind yourself of, because you guys, building a successful business isn't based on chronic coaching. If you're with people and you're on your phone, you're not going to be a successful coach. Like if you're multitasking, right? So sometimes like on holidays, or if we're in Eric's parents' house, what I'll do is I'll get up an hour earlier than everyone else in the house, and I'll set up my computer and I'll just crush a power hour, and then I leave it and I'm out. Or those Saturday, Sunday calls are awesome to get on because it's early before everything else. And what do I always say on those calls? Every weekend, I'm like, now turn off your phone and unplug. You've earned it, right? So every day it's important to show up in your business, or at least post every day. But if I don't show up hard one day, I know I can out hustle myself the next day. Does that make sense? You guys, I still get it done, but I sometimes have to figure out how to do that. My brother's getting married this weekend. You better believe I'm not taking my laptop. Like I'm going to be present with my family, but I'm going to get it done. Number 8 is, what is your big idea? We've gone over this, so we're not going to share. So for example, your big idea is your avatar. Who do you want to help this year? Mine is the burnt out, overworked teacher who is a couch dweller. Don't say the busy woman. Get more specific. I want to help the busy nurse. Like get really specific. Even though you get super specific, it doesn't exclude people. I love helping burnt out, overworked teachers who say they have no time but love Netflix. But Morgan Brill is still one of my PS coaches and is not a classroom teacher. Does that make sense? So I still attract people who aren't burnt out, overworked classroom teachers who are couch dwellers. I just attract people who understand that, but it's easier for me to get super specific to my niche. So I love that you said professional moms, nurse educators, absolutely. Or sorry, that's Morgan, yes. But do you get what I'm saying? So make sure you're super specific on who you want to help, not just that busy woman or the overweight woman. That's not specific enough. And then where are you going to find this person? For number 10, where are you going to meet these people? I said Instagram on locations or those hashtags. You can follow hashtags now, and that has been so easy to find people. It's been awesome. A couple more minutes, stick with me. I know that our hour is up. Referrals, Facebook mutual friends, Concordia is where I went to school, and just mainly in the Midwest. So it's kind of very broad, but I love working with Midwest people. Nikki Touch, don't get offended. I love the Midwesterners. Like, I love them. And so I love my Californians too. Like, I love them, but my Midwest peeps, like that, I really want to do that. So where are you going to meet these people? And then how can you help them is question number 11. And what do they need? My people need more money. They need short workouts. They need a hobby. They need a community. They need more sleep. They need more time. They need more travel. They need a side hustle. They need more energy. They need more fulfillment. They need more self-love and self-care. Those are what my people need. What do your people need? What does your person need? My person needs an effective workout. They're afraid of the gym, right? Like, what do they need? And then lastly, I know I'm going really fast, sorry, but just make sure you fill that out later. What can you invite them to show them what you do? What can you invite them to? A sneak peek, a boot camp, a free group, an event page. Invite them to look at a Google form, an email, right? Like, how can you invite them, but then what can you invite them to? Then this is my last favorite thing that we're going to do, that Trina did. This is all from Trina, you guys. She's amazing. But I had to teach you. So I want you to paint a picture of where you're going in 2018. You're going to make a dream board. Maybe you already have, but what I want you to change and add on there is this, okay? I'm really excited about this. I want you to add an adjective and your 2 goals with each of your roles. And then include your big idea with your coach role. So if your role is coach, I'd be like, as a coach, I want to help the overworked, burnt out teacher. And then I'm going to write 2 goals for a coach, 10-star diamond and 3-time elite. Like, those are going to be my goals. But I'm also adding my big idea on that dream board. I want to help the overworked, burnt out teacher who's the couch dweller. But I want you to add adjectives to your roles. So for example, disciplined Christian, meaning like my goals with that are really like being in my Bible every single day, okay? The patient wife. I'm a loving wife, y'all, but I am not a patient one. So, and that was my role yesterday. I was like not patient yesterday, and I was like, man, I just said I was gonna be patient today. I got work to do. So I have to, patient wife, a present dog mom, a giving volunteer, a relentless leader, and an elite coach, and a reliable and present friend. So I want you to add adjectives in front of your roles. Doesn't this make you like excited about your roles where you're like, oh my gosh, they're alive? Like, my roles are alive because there's an adjective to them. So what I want you to do is go to our team page. I'm going to post the questions in there. You're more than welcome to type them out. But more than anything, I want you to make a graphic, and I want to see the adjectives with your roles, with your big idea on there, and your 2 goals. More than anything. I'm so excited. Are you excited to add your adjectives to your dream boards? See, even though those of you who made your adjectives, your dream boards, Didn't you see how we went farther in it? So it's not something you just wrote down and you wished for, but now you're like, don't you feel alive in your dream board, in your vision? Awesome. Okay.